Hey, yo, what it do, what it do, what it do? Welcome back to episode 35 of the most anticipated podcast in the game, The Axis of Combat. It's your boy, Ray Boogie Kahuna, BK from the BX. Like always, my co-host.
Hugo the boss. Hugo got next. Hugo wearing a tank because he's hot from them bets from last weekend.
Ooh.
You already know.
Sweating out here, kid.
I had to be more provocative with my points today because we are hot from last weekend. And we got a nice card to kick it off. But before we get into this UFC 295 card today, you already know the business. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the visuals right now. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. And before we start this UFC 295 breakdown, we're going to recap our bets from last weekend. I'm going to pass it off to my brother to talk about our historic night, wins of the century, and then I'll come back over and recap my bets.
All right, well, let me take it from here. Hold on, let me just make sure I got all these buttons all. Give me a second here. How do I do this? Go here and do one of these right here. Okay, perfect. All right, so get ready, guys, because your boy finished 4.74 units up. Start with my straights. Let me just make sure I got I'm hitting a lot of that tonight. Feel me? So my straights, I got half a unit on the Casey decision. Hit that. 3.2 units on Mora inside the distance. Should have put more on that joint. Hit that. Hill, money line. Hit that. Petrino, inside the distance. Hit that. My Fakardinov straight for the decision. Push. So, I don't know what button to hit there, but, we'll use that. Petrosian. Unfortunately, that fight fell out.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's the way I feel about that. Dalby. Fat money line, baby.
Payday.
Hit that. The two straights that I missed, the Magomedov money line and the Almeida sub. As for parlays, 1 of 1. Actually, yeah, 1 of 2. 1 and 1. The one that I did hit was a KO parlay plus 1,000. And that was the Mora KO, Petrina KO.
Payday.
Money. The one I missed it pretty badly, but listen, long shot. It was 1100 straight. Brohalio, Bonfim, Almeida, all sub. Clapped up, slapped up. When it comes to the long shots, missed every one of them, but didn't need them. But I'll give them to you anyway. Mora KO round 1, Magomedov decision, Bonfim sub round 2. That one was very close, to be honest. I mean, it was close till it wasn't. Dalby whooped his ass. Almeida sub round 2, Lewis KO rounds 2 and 3, and Lewis KO. Missed all the long shots. Don't matter. 4.7 units up. One of my best nights overall. And without further ado, throw it back over to my brother.
I'm back, bitches.
Oh!
I'm back, bitches. You thought Halloween was over and it over for me, motherfucker. Your boy finished 8.194 units up. Let me not get ahead of myself. And let's talk about my losses, because I want you to judge me about my losses because I have so few.
Ooh,
as the great DiCaprio would say.
I got you queued up. Go
Killers
ahead,
of the Flower Moon. You feel me? Fuck that shit. Here's where I'm at. So let's talk about my losses. I made a sub. He should have finished that fight. Let's just keep it 100. I had a sub parlay for Borja, Bonfim, and Almeida. That got blown up. It's fine. I put, we put minimum units on it. It was a long shot parlay, low key.
0.2 units. Light work.
Then we had the long shots. Magomedov via decision. Lewis via knockout round 1. Lewis via knockout round 2. All good, all good and gravy, baby. Those are long shots. They're long shots for a reason. Now we're going to get into my winners. And, I'm going to run out of breath, man, because there's so many of them. There's so many of them. Holy shit. That's why I got my man came back for this week, man. The mask, you know what I'm saying? Because
the sports books got fleeced.
They got fleeced by me. You feel
Shook
me?
them down,
they weren't happy about me.
We spun the block on them boys.
Holy shit. So let's get into it. DeCasey via decision. Mora inside the distance. Angela Hill via decision. Petrino inside the distance. Petrosian was a pass.
Get the fuck out of here.
I had 2 parlays. The knockout parlay with my brother Mora and Petrino via knockout for plus 1,000. I had another parlay for Petrino and Nascimento's money line. And my biggest win of the night, not the biggest win of the night, biggest dog shot of the night, Nicholas Dalby, money line.
Payday, payday, you want payday.
Easy money, sniper. You know what I'm saying? Robbing this shit. I had to bring him back, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to come back. He seen all the robbing we did last weekend. And he was like, nah, bro, blue steel, blue vest, he dead, you next. You know what I'm saying? Next is UFC 295. Let's get into this card, my brother.
We got a good card, brother.
Yes, we do.
UFC 295.
Right in our backyard.
MSG. NYC.
All in for me.
All in for you. I couldn't rhyme with nothing. I was thinking nothing there. Anyway, we got a good ass card here, headlined by John. Oh wait, no, not John Jones. Not John Jones and Stipe. That fight fell out. Headlined by Jiří Procházka. What's his nickname? Does he have a nickname?
I'm gonna check that, but I don't think so.
Going one-on-one with Poetam. Alex Pereira.
BJP.
Okay, that's
that
right.
means.
No, okay. We're just gonna call him Jiří.
Yep.
Jiří versus Alex. Co-headlined by Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall. 13 fight card, loaded, top to bottom. I'm ready to dig into it. What about you, my brother?
Absolutely. I think we're gonna have a lot more betting. Like we're gonna have more bets than we probably had. Like already confirmed. I'm gonna lay down some bets for you today. Like we usually lay down bets every podcast, but I'm gonna give a good amount today because I feel very strongly about some of these positions already.
I got some pretty solid stances myself. Don't know how many bets I'm actually gonna lay down, but from top to bottom, this card is not that bad.
No, it's a fun card. It's a fun card. It's definitely a fun card, and it's a bettable card in my opinion. I think my brother agrees with me here, but yeah, like there's cards that you need to like just bankroll manage and just not commit a ton of units to. Last weekend we went off, you know, it was a very bettable card, and it turns out it was because we made a ton of money. This one I think has that same semblance, 100%. So let's just get right into it, man.
All right, first fight on the card to kick off the early prelim section of the UFC 295. We got Dennis. I'm going to call him Buzukja. Don't know how to say his last name. Dennis Buzukja.
Badass name, by the way.
I mean, listen, I'd rather it be Buzukja than, I mean, not to disrespect the man's last name. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all value our last names out here.
I think it's Buzukja. I think it's something like that, but
I'm calling him Buzukja.
Yeah, I'm going to call him Buzukja.
Because it sounds
too.
cooler.
It sounds way cooler.
Dennis Buzukja going one-on-one with Jamall Emmers. Buzukja, the great, 11-3, fighting out of Staten Island, New York, 26 years old, going one-on-one with pretty boy Jamall Emmers, 19-7, fighting out of Redlands, California, 34 years old. I think I like Emmers here. The line is probably way too long, way too wide. Pause.
Hey,
I don't know what I'm thinking about.
What's going on today? Pause.
Listen, all right. I was thinking about something.
Whoa. That didn't help that shit.
No, it didn't. I like the Emmers side here. Buzukja, he fights out of Ray Longo. He's the first fight on the card. I feel like his last fight against Sean Woodson, which was his debut, stepped in last minute. He was like the fourth opponent for Sean Woodson, if I remember correctly. He showed me a lot of heart, a lot of grit, a lot of dog. That's probably the best thing I could really say about this guy. I mean, listen, I don't know. He's got decent hands. He's got a little bit of pop. He's a little relentless. Like he's gonna keep going forward. He got dog in him. The thing is, I think Emmers just got him covered everywhere. Emmers, I think, is the better striker. I think he's the better technical striker. He's the better wrestler. I think he's the better grappler. I think he's just better everywhere. My only concern about Emmers is his IQ.
Yes.
Emmers, his last fight against what's that Australian cat's name?
Got you right now. I forgot his name too. But yeah, once I see him, I'm like, damn, I forget his name. Jack Jenkins.
Jack Jenkins.
He won that fight.
He won that fight. He could have. The problem is like he waited way too long to go to his wrestling, in my opinion. And he kind of tends to do this in a lot of fights where he should wrestle, but he ends up striking for a little too long. He should strike, ends up wrestling for a little too long. The line right now on him, he's like minus 250. The comeback on Buzukja is like plus 210. I do think Emmers wins. I think that line is probably a little too wide. I'm going to pick Emmers to win. I don't know if I want to bet Buzukja, but I don't really have a good solid bet here. I do think Emmers wins. Maybe I stick him in a parlay.
Maybe.
He's just a little scary. He's got him covered anywhere. He would really have to fuck this up to lose to Buzukja here. That being said, I mean, I don't know. What about you?
I have the same opinions as you. I think he's uber talented. The only one that can beat Jamall Emmers in this fight, in my opinion, is Jamall Emmers. And if he makes good decisions, you have to bet on him to make good decisions. If he's making good decisions, he's gonna fuck this guy up. He's just better than him everywhere. He's gonna, it's probably gonna go to decision. These guys are not big finishers. But what I will say is that he has all the talent in the world. It's just a matter of him putting it together and, getting the job done. And, granted, he's lost to some good fighters, but, he could have beaten those guys. He could have beaten Giga if he wrestled him earlier. He's just got so much more. And he was outstriking Giga in the last round of that fight. It's kind of crazy, right? So it's just really a decision-making, the decision-making aspect for Jamall Emmers. But if we're looking at everything else on paper, competition, strength of schedule, gifts, length, size, striking, wrestling, he's grappling, he's better everywhere. Yeah, he's literally better everywhere.
I feel like he could have beat Giga. Even if you go look at the past Sabatini fight. If he had the edge there.
Yes, he did.
But he decided to go down and try to leg lock a guy and ended up losing a whole year of his
career.
Yeah. Just because, he past Sabatini tore his leg up. So it's like,
yeah.
I just wish I could just count everything, you're right, everything on paper. He looks like he could be like a ranked fighter. Problem is his IQ sometimes kind of just leads him astray.
I agree.
All right, next fight we got here on the early prelims. We got Joshua Van going one-on-one with Kevin Borjas. I think that's how you say his last name. The Fearless Van, 8-1. Fighting out of Texas, 22 years old, going against El Gallo Negro. Kevin Borjas, 9-1. Fighting out of Peru, 25 years old. This is a contender series, a Dana White contender series match that never got to happen. It was scheduled. They ended up pulling Van, moving him up to fight Zhalgas Zamagulov, the guy who has more wives than UFC wins. And had a very impressive showing, to fight, not only to beat Zhalgas, but to beat him the way he did. I think he ended up landing the most strikes in flyweight history for a guy who's debuting. He took it to Zhalgas. He could have finished him in the second round, in my opinion. The fight ended up ending in a split decision, I guess. That's just Zhalgas' style. I don't think it was a split. I thought it was pretty clear. Van is good. Van's got excellent striking, hits hard, aggressive, and And his opponent here, Borjas, he ended up fighting some other guy. Don't recall his name, doesn't matter. Ended up beating the shit out of that guy. This Borjas got crazy fast hands, crazy striking. The problem with Borjas in his Contender Series fight, he was being taken down easily, in my opinion.
Yep.
Another problem I got with Borjas here, very easy to hit.
Yes.
Very hittable. I think this fight is going to be fun and exciting to watch for as long as it lasts. I got a feeling it goes under 2.5. That line is probably juiced. Don't know. We don't have any props yet. But I'm going to pick Van here for the win. I think he's the more technical striker. I think he's the more precise striker. They're going to go tat for tat. He likes to box right in the pocket. And that's kind of like right in Borjas' wheelhouse as well. It's going to be like a good old, like, one of those boxing classics when you see two Mexican guys just like straight up in a phone booth, just beating the shit out of each other. Something just like that. But I like Van here. Chin for chin. I think he's got the chin. I don't think Borjas has got the chin. Way more hittable. The fight should be closer. I'm not sure what the odds are. I think last I seen, I think Van was in the 200s.
Minus 218.
Yeah, this fight should be way closer. But that being said, I do think Van pulls it out. What about you?
Well, this is a fucking banger of a fight. That's one.
People gonna bleed. It's gonna get cut open, and somebody might die.
100%. Just to, throw it back in there. I think this is on this card in general. There's gonna be a lot of like fight of the night candidates.
Yeah.
This one, low key sleeper.
Yeah.
I don't think it wins because of how like crazy the main card is, but it could be potential fight of the night.
Yep. And to your point, if this fight stays on the feet, it's a 50-50 fight. And I would say, and I'm going to say 50-50. I would say like maybe 65-35 Van. And the reason I say that is because Borjas can crack. The thing is I agree with you. I think defensively he just makes a lot of mistakes. Plus, you're right. He cannot defend a takedown, and Joshua Van can go there.
Yes, if he wanted to.
If he wants to, it's there. And he is the better wrestler. Doesn't use it, but he is the better wrestler. And what he did to Zumagulov, is it Zumagulov or is Zumagulov?
Zumagulov, yeah.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off of him.
The man with more wives than UFC wins.
Yeah,
I want to throw that again.
That dude is fucking durable, and he almost stopped him in the second round.
Yeah, and Zumagulov has taken some good guys.
To decision.
And
split decision, by the way.
Yeah.
Split. So it's like a judge thought he won the fight. So the fact that he did that to Zumagulov is fucking impressive. And he did it on last minute notice. So I'm very high on Josh Van. He's probably going to get parlayed by me. No bullshit. I do think that he should get it done.
All right, next fight we have here on the early prelims, we got Kyung Kang, Mr. Perfect, going one-on-one with Sexy Mexi, Jonathan Castañeda. The nickname war almost sounds like a WWE fight. Mr. Perfect, Sexy Mexi, two characters straight up out of WWE. Kyung Kang, 19-9, fighting out of South Korea, 36 years old, going one-on-one with Sexy Mexi Castañeda. 20-6, fighting out of Minneapolis, 31 years old. This fight, I wouldn't say fight of the night candidate. Good fight though. Castañeda, not too high on the guy. I'm picking Kyung Kang here. Kyung Kang. Let me not disrespect the man. Mr. Perfect. For the slight upset. When it comes to the striking, I think he's the slightly more technical guy. I think he's going to have more volume. I know both guys have grappling backgrounds. I know they come from grappling backgrounds. I know they started off as grapplers. Kyung Kang has more experience, developed his game. What was most impressive, it was like 2 fights ago where he fought Benoit Batgarel, and was able to just stick and move, use leg kicks, use the jab, beat him in a very thorough decision. And then in his last fight, I think he fought Quiñones. Didn't use any grappling in that one at all. Straight wiped the floor with Quiñones. He's got power. I like his striking. Castañeda, he's got the grappling. Doesn't really go to it as much. His striking is okay. A little on the lower volume side. His fight against Daniel Santos is kind of like the way I kind of see this fight going with Kang. Kang does have the potential to finish him here. I'm going to say Kang by decision, though. If you look at both these guys' records, they both go to a lot of split decisions. If Castañeda probably went to his wrestling more reliably, I'd probably lean Castañeda because you can take Kang down. But tit for tat, I just think Kang is just a better overall fighter. I think the only thing that's working against him is his age. I think he's got the height and reach as well. I like Kang here for the slight upset. What about you?
I agree. I think them dogs is barking on this fight. It's not only that too, like, you know, I agree with you. Like, the age is the one thing that's holding him back, but things that you didn't list, that he's, you know, he's bigger, he hits harder, he has underrated grappling. His wrestling's a little, his defensive wrestling's a little, as you mentioned.
A little sus. But
he's competent. He's a competent guy. And if Castañeda was going to spam him, we'd feel, you know, I agree with you. I'd feel a little more comfortable. I just don't see it. Not overly impressed with Sexy Mexi. I think this is going to be, he might get knocked the fuck out in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really beaten, I mean, he beat Eddie Wineland.
Old ass Eddie Wineland. Respectfully,
Johns,
he's a legend. Respectfully.
Miles Johns, but I think Miles Johns is a little overrated as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me.
Yeah, because he beat Argueta the other day. I remember that, but Argueta's a one-trick pony.
Daniel Santos is the one that exposed him.
Yep.
You know, he couldn't really take him down. He tried to take him down. He just got outstruck there. Castañeda doesn't deal well with pressure. And the one thing I've noticed in a lot of Kang's fights, and especially lately, he'll stand right in the middle and then put it on you. So, and then his last fight against Gafarov, two grapplers, overrated striking. I think the striking is going to be key in this fight.
I agree.
And if you're going to ask me who's the better striker or who's striking I like better,
Kang.
Absolutely. All right, to finish off the early prelim section of this UFC 295 card, we have Jared Gordon going one-on-one with Marco Madsen.
Horrible.
There, hold on. You're not wrong. Hit it again.
I'm gonna start early with this
Horrible
shit.
fighter.
How dare you? How dare you do that? Jared Gordon, Flash Gordon. 19-6, fighting out of Queens, New York.
Hold it down, baby.
Hold it down, baby. 35 years old, going against the Olympian Marco Madsen, fighting out of Denmark. 39 years old. Ugh. Listen, Marco, I give him credit, all right? Good Greco-Roman wrestler. Olympian, just like his nickname. I think he medaled the last Olympics he went to.
Silver. Yep.
Silver. All right, listen, man.
Impressive.
Kudos. Also, 12-1 in MMA. Good shit, man. I give it to you. Impressive career.
Should be 11-2, but
well, yeah.
From hell, Pachel beat him. Let's just keep it 100. But all right,
Pachel did beat him.
He beat him.
Well, you know, but you know, whatever. He's fighting Jared Gordon here. Jared Gordon, his last fight out, a little weird, a little controversial. For Bobby Green, ended in a headbutt. That you know, if you asking you and me, Bobby Green did that shit on purpose.
I don't think he did.
I think he did. I don't know.
I think he just leaned. And
I was watching it again. I was like, this motherfucker definitely headbutted.
I gotta watch it again.
It on purpose.
I gotta watch it again. My boy Bobby.
Also, the same Jared Gordon we're talking about here got fleeced out of decision.
Oh man, Patty Pimblett. He fucking won all 3 rounds.
He beat Patty. I don't care what anybody tells me.
It's fucking disgusting, man. MMA judging and shit.
When it comes to the striking, Marco has improved his striking. Still give the edge to Jared Gordon. The grappling,
Jared
Gordon.
The wrestling is Mark.
The wrestling, I give it a Mark.
And yeah, and that's conservatively because the Greco-Roman style doesn't really translate well into mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's just proven at this point.
Because Mark ain't going for legs.
Nope.
His style of grappling, his style of wrestling is body lock.
Purely upper body.
Grab your body, take you down.
He might win the first round. I think this is a good live bet fight. He might win the first round, and then this line from Jared gets hammered down. So heads up, might be a nice little bet to make mid-fight.
I agree. I think Marco definitely I say maybe 7, maybe 8 out of 10 times probably wins the first round.
Yeah.
I'll say 7. I don't think Gordon's got to be worried about any kind of submissions. I think he could literally just give Marco his back and get up.
Yep.
And plus, I think Gordon's get-up game is a little underrated. I think he can get up pretty good.
I agree. And then the last point that you didn't bring up, endurance and stamina, Jared Gordon.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
He can go for 3 rounds.
I'm leaning Jared here. This is not going to be the most entertaining fight. This fight is not winning any kind of fight of the nights.
No.
Not in my opinion. I think Jared Gordon wins here. And I'm going to say decision. But would I be surprised at maybe a 3rd round stoppage?
No.
Maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. And listen, if you ask me who hit the harder of the two,
Mark.
I give it a Mark. And if you're on the Mark side, I could see a KO because Jared's chin isn't the best.
No.
It isn't. That being said, I think there's just more ways for Jared to win here. Also, speculation, rumor time. We like to throw it up in here. Could be Marco's last fight. He is 39. He's got some outside extracurriculars he's been handling. I don't think he's even training that fight ready anymore.
Alarming.
Also, just throw it out there. We mentioned it before. Gordon is from New York. So he's hometown boy. I'm leaning Jared Gordon here. Most likely by decision. Won't be surprised at a
late stoppage.
I
agree.
That's yeah. What about you?
Agreed. Yeah. I mixed in a lot during your segment. I jumped in. So
no, I love it, man.
Yeah. But I agree with everything you said. I think it's a good live bet spot because I don't like Jared at minus. I think what is it, 218. I don't like anyone at minus 218.
The number is wide. It probably should be a little tighter.
Actually, minus 198. I still think that's a high line.
It should still be like maybe Jared Gordon at minus 170.
He opened up at minus 120, if I'm correct.
Wow. Okay.
Or 150 or whatever it was. I would have taken him there, but we're too late for that. The line's blown out.
I think the highest I would have took him is probably maybe 170.
I agree.
And I remember seeing that a couple of days ago when I was like, I didn't think the line was going to move that crazy.
Yeah, I mean, people know. People know what we know.
If you're going to bet him, you could bet him by decision to bring that line, that money line down just a bit, or you could stick him in a parlay. I think he's a good piece.
I think he might be safe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mark
is not impressive, man.
No.
I'm sorry. Like I've never ever since his first fight in the UFC, I've been waiting to fade this motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna fade him now. I mean, I faded him against Vince, and I won that bet. The judges robbed me. Fuck them. But I just think that. No disrespect to him. It's way harder to win a silver medal in the Olympics.
No, listen,
versus like a championship in MMA. But you're already 39 years old.
Yeah, and he's well established. I mean, kudos to him. Like he
could coach at any gym in the fucking country. Bro.
What he's done in combat sports. I mean, listen, man. He's
respect,
man.
But in terms of MMA and what he's gone through in MMA. Fleecings and fucking being overrated as shit. They were sucking this guy off as soon as he came into the UFC. Yeah. And he didn't even have I think he had a good performance against some tomato can, but after that you put him in there with anyone that's real. It's like he ain't shit.
He really hasn't fought anybody crazy.
Like McGregor said, he's a stuffed wrestler with the overhand. That's it. That's all the fuck he is. You know, so
and sometimes you'll get that overhand, sometimes you won't. He'll wrestle you and hold you down for like 3 rounds.
And just hump you.
You know?
Like I don't know, man. I'm not impressed.
Also notice that his cardio has been fading a bit.
It has.
Especially in that Pichel fight, I kind of noticed it a bit.
Yep.
All right, to kick off the regular portion of the prelims, we have Nazim Sadykhov going one-on-one with, I don't know how you say it, Viacheslav?
Yeah, that's good. Borshchev. Yep.
I'm just going to call him Borshchev.
Yeah.
The Black Wolf, Nazim, 9-1, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, 29 years old. Going one-on-one with Slava Claus, Borshchev, 7-3. Fighting out of Sacramento, California, 31 years old. We got an Azerbaijani going against a Russian. New York versus Cali. I kind of like Borshchev here for the upset. This is why. Nothing against Sadykhov. I think his striking is solid. I think his defensive wrestling is good. I think his defensive grappling is good. The way to beat Borshchev is to offensively wrestle him. You've seen that with Diakasi. You've seen that with, man, who was the last guy he fought? I was just sucking this guy off too the other day. He hasn't fought in like 5 years.
Calm that
Pause.
down.
I'm sorry. Pause.
Mike Davis.
Talented
as fuck. Fights once every 28 years like the fucking monster from Jeepers Creepers. He comes out to feast once every 28 years. Great talent, but
yeah,
just not active.
I think between those 2 fights, he got taken down like 20 times. No lie.
I think that's accurate.
But standing,
he's filthy.
Borshchev, M1 kickboxer.
Filthy.
Champion. Filthy. Power. Precision. Speed. He's good. He's very good. I'm leaning, like I said, I'm leaning Borshchev here only because when I look back at Sadykhov to see if he does any kind of offensive grappling, 0 to none. Unfortunately, I think he is capable. I've only seen him shoot once, and that was against Elder in his last fight that he was arguably losing. Close fight. I was kind of leaning Elder there. I think I had an Elder bet, if I'm not mistaken. Ended up in was it a no contest? I don't know. The fight ended up stopping because of a cut.
It was nasty.
Actually, no. I think they gave it to Sadykhov. A technical knockout, right?
But that fight was close.
Yeah. I was leaning Elder there, though.
Yep.
And then in his previous fight against McKinney, which I think he stepped in last minute, I think that was his debut as well. Defensive wrestled very well. Was able to choke out in the second round, if I'm not mistaken, McKinney, where he had his arm trapped behind his back. So he couldn't even like defend the choke. I think he's got the grappling. I just don't. He's one of those guys that would prefer to strike.
Yes.
And would only grapple when necessary. And if you're not gonna go to your striking, and I do think Borshchev has a good first layer defense. I don't know if Sadykhov is gonna be able to reshoot, re-enter with that second layer, with that third layer, with that fourth gear, that fifth gear. Don't know if he's gonna do it. Haven't seen it. So if you're telling me this is gonna be a striking fight, I like Borshchev.
I agree.
I like Borshchev. Maybe to finish him. He hits like a son of a bitch, man. So that's all I got. What about you?
The dogs are barking on this fight. I agree with you. I think if you're not spamming Borshchev with takedowns, which Sadykhov hasn't really shown, it's going to be a long fucking night for you. I really believe that. He's good. He's fucking durable. He's tough. And he's been working. Every fight I've seen him, he's been working on the takedown defense. I think, and he's been at Alpha Male for a minute.
I found out he's the striking coach at Alpha Male.
Look at that.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. And now I think he's improved enough with his. I think he's made adjustments because he's improved every fight. Like he looks like a guy that acknowledges when he's had deficiencies. And he's the dog in this fight against a guy who I don't think is overly impressive. He's okay. This guy, Borshchev, has some filthy fucking mitts, man. filthy mitts.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, Sadykhov comes from a good, like, he's from New York. You know, it sucks to pick against a New York dude.
Right.
I think he does have the tools. He comes from a good coach, a good camp, Sarah Longo, or Longo Weidman, whatever the hell they call it up in Long Island.
Yeah.
He just hasn't shown that he's willing to offensively grapple enough.
No. Can he spam for, and I think the question becomes, can he spam him with takedowns for 3 rounds?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe they do come in with that game plan. I mean, again, they're a good camp, but
from what we've seen,
yeah.
No, the evidence is not there.
And fighters show you who they are all the time. And that's all we got really to base our opinions off is the tape.
Correct.
You know? So it's like, if you're not showing me you can do it, I can't trust you to do it.
Yeah, you beat Jerm McKinney, but I mean, dude, anyone who survives the first round with McKinney.
And McKinney was the one that was engaging in all of that grappling. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, he could defensively wrestle really good. You can tell he's got the tools.
Correct.
But you can also tell he's just one of these guys that kind of wants to strike first and grapple to kind of supplement, you know, to mix it in.
A lot of these kickboxers like Pereira, Stylebender, they all have very strong hips. So to get them to the floor, it's not an easy task. Mike Davis is a fucking tank, and that's why he was able to get him down. I mean, I'm not saying that he doesn't have technique. It's just it helps that he can be physical with him.
Yeah.
And who was the other guy?
Diakese.
Another guy, good striker, worked on his wrestling, and Diakese is chiseled.
And just think about this.
Chiseled.
Like I said, 20 takedowns between probably those 2 fights.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It tells you
he's on a different level.
Take him down.
Yeah.
But
he gets back up.
His get-up game ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad.
You know, what do they say about WWE champions like Ric Flair, you know, who held the belt 16 times? He lost it 15. Sorry, Rick. I love you. You're the GOAT in my book, bro. You know, so, but yeah, I think I like Borshchev as a shot here. I do as well.
All right, next fight on the prelims, we have Mateusz Rębecki going one-on-one with not his original opponent, who was supposed to be Nurullo Aliyev. Aliyev ended up pulling out. He's now taking on last-minute replacement, former UFC, then contender, or actually not contender series, then the Ultimate Fighter. Now he's back in the UFC. The Predator, Roosevelt Roberts.
Not Francis Ngannou.
Not Francis. This is the poor man's version. Maybe not even. He's got to earn the Predator nickname, in my opinion. But you know. Rębecki. His nickname they got listed here is Rębecki. 18-1, fighting out of Poland, 31 years old, going one-on-one with the Predator, Roosevelt Roberts. 12-3, fighting out of Cali, 29 years old. Just to comment on his name again. Roosevelt Roberts sounds like a president.
It does.
I just want to throw that out there.
It's the first president that's done jail time.
Wait, what?
Respectfully. Yeah, he's done jail time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he did hard time. Damn. Was I the only one watching Tough?
I forgot about that.
Shit. Respect, Roosevelt. We know, bro. We know. Trust me. I ain't trying to put you out there. You put it out there, so I'm just repeating what you said. You know what I'm saying? On Tough. But nah, bro. I like Roosevelt. Tough fight for him. Very tough fight. But go ahead.
Listen, Rębecki, built like a fire hydrant.
Literally a fire hydrant.
Dude is stout.
Short,
dude.
Yeah.
Short, powerful, dangerous. Hits very hard. Mixes into grappling very well. Good overall. Just rounded. He's a well-rounded fighter. His first fight against Nick Fiore might have underwhelmed some people because they thought, hey man, this guy's coming in with a lot of hype. Probably should have finished him. Comes in his next fight against Rajabov. Dust him in the second round. I like this guy a lot. Roosevelt has the height. He has the reach. He has the tenacity. He does tend to jump guillotine a lot. Rębecki don't really got a neck. He could try it. I think Rębecki wins this. I don't want to say easily. I do foresee an inside the distance kind of win here.
I agree.
His line, because this fight just dropped not too long ago, way too juiced. He's like close to minus 700.
You want the real? If Roosevelt gets up to plus 500, I might have to just play Roosevelt on principle, because Roosevelt's no fucking pushover. And if there's anything we've learned in MMA, there's no such thing as like a plus 500 favorite. I'm sorry. I don't even give a shit if it's on last minute notice.
You mean plus 500 dog?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Plus 500 dog. Thank you for correcting me, sir.
Anytime.
But there's no such thing as that. And I think Roosevelt does have the length and the tools. Rębecki is fucking hittable. And if Roosevelt can put his punches together and his kicks, he can make something happen. He also is pretty decent at fighting off his back foot. He might have the better footwork in this fight too. Roosevelt Roberts is a live dog shot. Not even a live, just a dog shot. It's not the worst play. And I think if he's at plus 470 right now, if he gets up to 500, I'm playing him.
Yeah,
on principle.
I think if his number gets there, I think he's probably just an auto system play.
Correct.
But if you're asking me,
yeah, inside the distance,
I think Rębecki probably
he's
rolls.
the goods.
I think Rębecki rolls this guy.
He's the goods. And the thing is, he didn't have a full camp.
Yeah.
He didn't have a full camp to deal with the physicality that Rębecki's going to bring to him. Plus, Rębecki has fucking good low leg kicks.
Yes.
He hits fucking hard, and Roosevelt does have like a traditional boxing stance sometimes. He knows how to fight big, but he knows how to fight on his front leg.
And it's not like Roosevelt hasn't been chinned before.
Yeah.
He's been chinned before. And we're talking about Rębecki here. I was watching fucking tape on this guy yesterday. This man, he hits you like it's personal.
Yeah.
Like you offended this man, and he was like, all right, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. He hits you so hard. He throws with so much anger, but he looks like the nicest guy. It's fucking insane. He hits you like dead ass. It's personal. Like you must have spit on my mom, or you must have pushed my kid down the stairs, or you said something dirty to my grandmama, and I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. This man is crazy. I like Rębecki here.
I like Rębecki inside the distance as well.
I think he wins.
Depending on the line, if it's playable, like not minus over 170,
yeah,
I'll play it. But if those lines are smashed, I'm gonna take Roosevelt at plus 500 plus. I mean, dude, that's insane. Like, you know, for a guy, Rębecki, tank of a man, gets hit though. He gets hit a lot, man. So, you know, but we can move on.
All right, we got the next fight here, which I'm surprised this is on the prelims, but I mean, this card is kind of crazy, so I guess I could see why it's on the prelims. Another fight of the night candidate, in my opinion. We have Tabatha Ricci going one-on-one with Lupita Godinez. Ricci, 9-1, fighting out of Brazil, 28 years old, going one-on-one with Lupita Godinez, 11-3, fighting out of Canada, 30 years old. This fight, I was looking initially for a way, because I don't think Ricci's whack. I think the problem with Ricci is that she hasn't fought anybody who is going to strike as well or hit as hard as Lupi. I think the last time she fought somebody that can strike like this, and maybe it's probably wrong to compare them, was Ricci's debut fight where she fought up a weight class against that French girl. What's her name?
Marion Furiat.
Yes.
That's how you pronounce her name.
I think Ricci is probably the only edge I think I give Ricci here is probably just the pure jits. You know, I think she's got the jiu-jitsu. But
everything else,
I think Lupita, I think she's got it covered everywhere. I think she's got the striking. I think she hits harder.
She's more physical.
I think she's more physical.
And she's by far the better wrestler.
She's the way better wrestler.
Her sister is in the fucking Olympics, man. Like, I think her sister's an Olympic wrestler.
I think both her sisters.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She might be the wackest out of them.
Which is crazy. And she throws bitches around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, she don't, you know, I'm sure there's dudes that she rolls with in the gym and she's able to get them on their butt. Like, literally throwing bitches around. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah, I'm with you here. I think Tabatha has a lot of physical gift that she's been able to lean on.
I think she's the more athletic of the two.
And by the way, here's the other thing too. I think she has the better fight IQ. I'll give her that too. Because she makes good adjustments in the fight, and she also has good game plans coming into the fight.
I agree. And I'm also curious because they both have him listed as 5'2". I know Tabatha is small. I'm curious to see how they look lined up.
Correct.
Also,
most talented person, Tabatha's fought though. No question. Lupita's a hammer.
Yes.
She's a hammer, man.
And she, like, again, she got outstruck by Furio for Manon. I'm just going to call her Manon. I got to butcher her last name. But again, that was a weight class up. I don't even like really count that fight.
No, and Manon is a fucking hammer too. Like that, she could be a world champion at 25.
Now,
there's no question.
What's questionable is that she got pieced up a little bit by Maria Oliveira, who was, I mean, but I guess you could probably chalk that up to size advantage.
Yeah.
She also got pieced up a little bit by Pollyanna, who I think she has underrated striking, by the way.
I agree.
But again, it comes back to your Tabatha Ricci point where I think her IQ is good because she just let Pollyanna just lay in her back and won that fight.
Correct.
Beat Penne impressively. Jillian Robertson, not the best striker, also beat her, I think, pretty impressively as well, in my opinion. But like, again, Godinez is just another animal. Godinez, I did question her IQ.
That last fight, man.
When she fought Angela Hill.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Just wrestler.
Didn't wrestle for whatever reason. I don't know what the story was.
Might have had an injury. Who knows?
Whether she was injured or, who knows. Was able to turn it around. She beat the shit out of Elise Reed her last fight. That was I think it was like 3 months ago, right? Yeah. This is a quick turnaround for Lupi.
Yeah. I like her. She's active, which I like.
It's the quickest 100%. Turnaround on the card.
Correct.
So,
yeah, I just don't know how Tabatha's going to be able to stop her from wrestling her. I really don't. I think Lupi could take down almost everyone in this weight class.
If you ask me, I think this fight stays striking for the whole.
And Lupi's not outmatched there either.
No,
it's kind of crazy.
I think that's Ricci's probably best shot is probably keeping it standing, maybe trying to use her speed and athleticism to kind of like move around Lupi. But I don't know. Lupi's hands are good.
They're really good.
So
I think it hits the floor, by the way. I don't think it stays standing.
You think so?
Because Tabatha's not like exceptional off her back. Pollyanna Viana is fucking exceptional off her back. She is.
But I think, again, this goes back down to the IQ thing, right? I think if I think this is the fight Lupi should probably keep standing. Because if she does take her down, which, I think she's in complete control of, by the way.
I think she will be.
That kind of plays into Ricci's, gives Ricci kind of a chance.
But Ricci does make good decisions on the striking, too. Like, it's a well-matched fight.
It's a good fight.
It's a well-matched fight.
It's a good fight.
I just think there's one ace here, and that's her wrestling. And if she wrestles her, especially if she mixes it in with the strikes, she's gonna get tossed.
I'm just worried about the jiu-jitsu. Like if they go to the ground.
Yeah. Like I said, if it was Pollyanna, I agree with you. I just don't think Tabatha's jiu-jitsu it's good. It's not.
She used to train with Dern.
Yeah, but I mean,
maybe she's still training with Dern. They're on the same card.
Yeah, but they're not on the same level.
Yeah.
Right? Like is Tabatha even on the same level as Pollyanna with just straight jiu-jitsu? Not really.
Nah, Pollyanna was good.
She's a problem.
But she was able to sit in Pollyanna's guard and kind of beat her up. So
right, but I think Lupi has that same competence. Yeah. I really do. I just don't think Tabatha's like, she's good, but she listen, can she get better? 100%. I just think this is a tough fight for her. I really do. It's this Lupi, especially what she did to Elise Reed. Oh my goodness. And she's not going to do that to Tabatha, but she's going to have moments to do that to Tabatha.
Yeah. And Elise Reed was the perfect opponent. Like, take her down, please.
Take her down.
She cannot defend the takedown.
Can't defend the takedown.
And she mollywopped that girl.
Bad.
All right. Next fight here. And I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is, well, the way they got it currently listed here, this is the main event for the prelims.
I think it is, yeah. Because remember, since they lost the Jones fight, no, that's cap. I think this is always probably supposed to be the main event.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
We have Steve Erceg going one-on-one with Alessandro Costa. Astro Boy, whack-ass nickname. 10-1, fighting out of Australia, 28 years old, going one-on-one with Nono His nickname is No.
Horrible fucking nickname.
Alessandro Costa, 13-3. They got him. He's Brazilian. His nationality is Brazilian, but he's fighting out of Mexico. That's pretty interesting.
Astro Boy, what the fuck does he listen to? The Weekend on the weekends?
The weekend on the weekend.
I guess so, bro. I fucking guess.
He looked like Aaron Rodgers, like brother.
He does.
He looks like Aaron Rodgers if he lost weight and decided to like drink a little bit and then do some MMA.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers post Achilles tear.
Yeah, he can't fight. He can't throw the ball no more. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw these hands. Anyway, yeah, he's Costa's 27 years old. Anyway, yeah. Listen, you guys got the breakdown. This is a good fight. Another, I guess, potential fight of the night. These guys both have very good grappling. Very good grappling. Costa probably got the better top game. Pause. But he is short for the division. But I think if you ask me who's got the better striking here, I think Erceg's got the better striking.
Agreed.
He came in last minute, fought Dvorak, beat him impressively, soundly. It wasn't like a
split decision.
It wasn't no split decision. Very, you know.
It was pretty clean.
It was unanimous, clean decision win on a ranked opponent. Costa fought Albazi in his debut and
got waxed. But I think that fight was on short notice too.
It was
to be fair.
It was short notice, but it was also what I guess I don't know if it's alarming because I think Albazi's good. The problem with Albazi is he's not really known for his striking.
No, and he knocked him out.
And he put him on his ass twice.
Yeah.
I think once in the first and then once in the third, and he finished him in the third. Dan Costa with the rebound fight fought Jimmy Flick. Looked good. Finished Flick. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Jimmy Flick. Not to disrespect Jimmy Flick, but, you know, when you go from Albazi to Flick, meh. And now you're fighting an opponent who just, I feel like, decisively beat Dvorak, who I think is a ranked, I call him a gatekeeper, but not a gatekeeper in a sense where if you can beat him, you deserve to be a ranked opponent. Erceg, I think, is the better striker. I think they're both very hittable. I think Costa's probably got the power edge.
He goes to the body really well, too.
But he doesn't have the volume.
No.
He's going to be the minute loser in this fight.
Going to be shorter.
He is the shorter guy. He's undersized. Erceg's a big, what division is this? Flyweight.
Flyweight, yep.
He's listed here as 5'8".
That's crazy.
And he's got a 68-inch reach.
And for people who don't know what that is, that means he has to make 125 pounds.
Yes.
That's fucking absurd.
He's very big. Pause. I think he's the better striker. I think he throws more volume. And if you ask me chin for chin, whose chin I trust?
Erceg.
I'm going to trust Erceg's chin.
Yep.
I think this fight primarily takes place standing because they're two well-known grapplers. I don't think they're going to submit each other. There might be some grappling here and there. But I think they're both competent enough where I don't think anybody subs one another. So when for me, at the end of the day, it comes down to the striking. And even though I do think Costa is the more powerful striker, he's a little low volume, and I do trust Erceg's chin more. I got Erceg here. I think he's the favorite.
Yeah.
Don't know how I'm going to bet it because I do think this fight is going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if Costa fucking unga bungas him and just catches him right, you know. He hits hard.
MMA, bro.
It's MMA at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But Erceg's my lean. Erceg's my pick. Don't know how I'm going to bet this fight. What about you, my brother?
Agree with everything you said. I don't even have to add anything onto that because I think the breakdown that you gave is pretty accurate. I think these guys are still young in their careers too.
No, they're both very young. Yeah.
You know, so I just think that besides their terrible nicknames, I think they have a lot of potential, both of them. But I'm leaning Erceg here as well for all the reasons that you listed. So,
all right, to kick off the main card, we got in the featherweight division, Pat Sabatini going one-on-one with Diego. I think it's Lopes, but it don't have a Z.
It is Lopes.
I heard some people call him Lopes.
Were they Spanish?
I don't know.
They fucked up then.
It's Diego Lopes, in my opinion. We got Pat Sabatini here, 18-4, fighting out of Pennsylvania, 33 years old, going one-on-one with Diego Lopes. No nicknames here, by the way. 22-6, fighting out of Mexico, hailing from Brazil, 28 years old. We have an American versus a Brazilian. We got Pennsylvania going one-on-one with Brazil. But he fights out of, he's training in Mexico. He's another one of these Brazilians training in Mexico.
He trains Grasso.
Yeah.
He's Grasso's grappling coach.
I think I'm leaning Lopes here. I think this fight is very close.
Dogs are barking.
I don't think Sabatini, I think Sabatini's striking has improved. I think Sabatini is 100% the better wrestler. What gives me hope for Lopes, though, is that Lopes literally on his debut fight fought Evelev.
And gave him all he could handle.
And literally in a loss, gave him all he can handle. Lopes, I think his second opponent finished him pretty easily. Is Gavin Tucker.
Oh, we faded Tucker there.
Yeah.
Because I think he was plus money to finish him.
Yes.
And I say, yeah, he's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
Gavin Tucker, another guy, fights once every 28 years, comes down from the border of Canada to feast. He got feasted on.
Yeah. Yeah. It was sad to see because I kind of like Tucker.
I like him too, but he got fucked up.
But he got waxed. He got waxed by Lopes. If you're asking me, like I said, I think Sabatini's a better wrestler. I think what Sabatini could do to win this fight is probably just hold Lopes down, maybe with some ground and pound, blah, blah, blah. Lopes, better grappler, better jits. And I do think he's the better striker.
Not think.
He's got the size advantage, pause. He's got the length advantage, pause. He's got the power advantage, my opinion. If this stays standing, and then Sabatini, because I got my thoughts all mixed up here, I'm all jumbled up. Sabatini's chin isn't really the best.
Damon Jackson knocked him out.
Damon Jackson.
Walter Goggins knocked him the fuck out.
Touched him up. Damon Jackson, not really known for his power.
Nope. He's known for being on highlights of posters. Damon Jackson. He put him on a fucking highlight.
It's going to be pretty interesting. I do think Sabatini does pose a little more of a submission threat than Evelev did. Evelev is definitely more of a control wrestler.
Correct.
Where Sabatini does have a jits background. He trains with them, them Pennsylvania boys. What's that? That Renzo? What's that Pennsylvania group called?
I don't remember, but they got killers down there.
It's tough. I think this is literally dog or pass. I like Lopes here, slightly. So I like Lopes slightly here.
I love Lopes here. I'm very high in this guy. I think he has legitimate skill. He's going to be much bigger than Sabatini. And, if we look at the last couple of guys, outside of, him getting knocked out and stopped by Damon Jackson, he subbed Lucas Almeida after that. Lucas Almeida couldn't stop anyone from taking him down to the UFC. Terrible, horrid takedown defense. Horrid. He's not doing that to Diego Lopes. And even if he does do that to Diego Lopes, the positions where he advanced on Lucas Almeida and smashed him and stopped him, he's not going to be able to do that to Diego. Diego's going to work from the bottom, get back up, he throws up triangles really well. He does a lot of things good from his back, active guard. I don't know where Pat's going to be safe in this fight. He's not going to be safe on the feet. He's not going to be safe in the clinch. He's not going to be safe on the floor. He could, the only thing he would have to play half guard control with him. You have to pretty much wrist ride him, from the side, ayo. You have to have a lockdown on his wrist and try to get to his back.
Pause.
And just pretty much hold him there. But he's not the better striker. He's not the better grappler. I don't think he's the better grappler either. It's close to the grappling, so let's just say it like that. I don't think he's the better grappler because I think Diego's more active off his back.
Yes. I do fear that he may be that Lopes might play off his back a little too much though. Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's the only
that's a little scary.
That's the only thing. But I just think that even him throwing up kicks is fucking violent. He's just dangerous everywhere. Diego, he is a fucking hammer. I don't know where Pat's gonna be safe in this fight. And for that reason, I gotta go Lopes here. and it's a dog shot, but I'm surprised he's not the favorite. I really am. You know, I think he just fighting Evelev is better than anyone that Sabatini's fought, in my opinion. Evelev is future world champion this weight class. And he fought him on short notice and gave him all he could handle. I like Diego here.
All right, next fight we have on the main card here. Another fight of the night potential. Matt Frevola, the steamroller, going one-on-one with the god of war himself, Benoit Saint-Denis. Frevola, 11-3-1, fighting out of Tampa. Hailing from New York, though. Don't disrespect. 33 years old.
Uptown baby.
Going one-on-one with the god of war, Benoit Saint-Denis. 12-1, fighting out of France, hailing from France, 27 years old. Like I mentioned before, fighting night written all over this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This fight is... Hold on. We gotta get that by Mike Perry in here.
Yeah, where's Mike Perry?
People gonna bleed. It's gonna get cut open, and somebody might die.
Yes.
Yeah. All that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this fight is fucking violence all over it, man.
Super necessary.
Now,
Yeah.
my lean and possible pick and possible even bet, because I think the line is a little wide
A little disrespectful.
considering how crazy this fight can be. My boy Matt Frevola, steamroller. My man is like almost plus 200.
Yeah, he's at plus 185 right now. He went up since this morning.
I take that shot
Yeah.
all day, every day. Has Frevola been knocked out? Sure. Has Benoit been knocked out? He should have been. That referee who let Zaleski dos Santos whoop the ever-living shit out of him should be fired.
He lost years off his life for that shit.
He got smoked. In that fight.
It was up a weight class too, so let's be fair to Saint Denis. He shouldn't have been fighting that guy.
No.
That guy's a fucking animal.
My God, he got the mitts put on him. I don't know how. I give Benoit credit. He didn't go down.
Yeah.
But god damn, he got his ass whooped.
Just for some background on Saint Denis, he's a very like imposing looking dude. He was special ops for the French army, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Very intense motherfucker, like big Mirko Crow Cop vibes, just from a different part of the world and smaller.
That's why I'm afraid to talk shit about him, because he might just pop out of the ceiling right now and just slice my throat real quick. I don't even know it. I'm done. He's come out of nowhere. This man's a killer. He's
a killer.
Yeah.
He's a killer. He's got skills though too.
Yeah. He's a dangerous man. But they say Frevola's hittable. I think Benoit is very hittable.
Much more hittable in my opinion.
Also, watching Benoit, I noticed he not only is he hittable, but he also doesn't really headhunt as much.
No.
He likes to work the body. He'll like in the pocket, instead of going for like the clear chin, he'll go and throw a couple body shots, which I get, but I don't get. Frevola might clean his whole shit out.
Yep.
If they trade in the pocket.
I mean, the last guy he fought, Saint Denis, what's his name? Thiago Moises, put fucking hands on him.
Yeah.
Before he got stopped. Like, there was moments where Benoit wobbled. And if Matt touches you like that, he'll fuck you up. Listen, you want the real guys? If this fight was a pick'em, I'd pick Saint Denis. I would. But since this fight is like completely disrespectful on the line, and I think you agree, he's almost plus 200.
I mean, listen,
Like,
you could also argue that Frevola fought the better comp.
Oh,
right?
he has. And listen, I'm not trying to disrespect Frevola.
Yeah.
I think Saint Denis has the goods. I just think he's a little more hittable.
Then yeah.
And I think Frevola has dealt with cleaner punchers. Like Drew Dober's a cleaner puncher than both of them. And Frevola put him in the fucking shadow realm.
And I do
You know
think,
what I'm saying?
if you ask me, I give the grappling edge to Benoit.
Yeah.
I think he's more of the submission threat. Even though Frevola,
He
don't sleep on him.
He can scramble. He scrambles.
I give Frevola maybe the wrestling edge.
Yes.
When it comes to striking and power, I think it's like almost
close.
It's almost a pick 'em, but like
Anyone can get slept in this fight.
yes.
Like if we're picking for, I gotta say we, because
Yeah, I'm a Frevola. I know you're on Frevola.
we're picking Frevola
Yeah.
predominantly based on the line too.
Yeah.
Like it could go either way.
Yeah.
But you're gonna give me plus 185 on this guy who can definitely knock this guy the fuck out. I'm gonna take it. And it's just what it is.
Again, like I said, argue the better competition he's fought. I mean, he lost his debut to like Polo Reyes, whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
We debuts. We kind of don't really take too much stock into them.
UFC jitters are real.
Beat Jalen Turner. Lost a decent fight to Sarukian.
That's crazy.
I mean, lost to McKinney, which probably isn't the best look either. But I mean, listen, McKinney's like the best one-round fighter in the game.
McKinney can knock anyone on the first round.
Yes,
he can stop anyone in the first round. So, I think Frevola is the goods, and he knocked out Drew Dober. Drew Dober's never been knocked out until that point.
Yeah,
Drew Dober's chin exemplifies how strong his chin is.
He looks like he's made of stone. His chin, like it's chiseled.
Those stonehead
perfectly.
shits, like Poatan, no bullshit.
Like Poatan's kid.
And to knock him out, I had money on Drew Dober that fight, and Frevola put him in the fucking shadow round.
Yeah, I learned the hard way.
And Drew is he's the more precise puncher.
Yes,
he's the better technical striker. So you're telling me you're gonna give Frevola to a guy who swings wide, like fights like with his chin out and like kind of lumps his hooks like that? I'm gonna take the guy who throws shorter hooks, a little more compact, and can deal with his pressure.
And I think has the wrestling edge.
He does.
So
he does. I think so too. The grappling I give to Saint-Denis, but the wrestling I give to Frevola. I agree. Frevola, dog shot.
All right, we have arrived. The featured bout of 295, NYC MSG. We got Jéssica Andrade going one-on-one with Mackenzie Dern. Andrade, 24-12, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Brazil, 32 years old, going one-on-one with Mackenzie Dern, 13-3, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, 30 years old. Another potential fight of the night candidate. Low key.
Yep.
I'm leaning Dern here. Now, I don't want to disrespect Andrade. She's a legend in the game. Arguably, probably pound for pound, one of the best women fighters we've seen.
One of the strongest too.
MMA.
Yep.
Like, forget the UFC. I'm talking about just MMA. She's like, she's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
I agree.
Her last couple fights, you can argue she's been fighting the top of the top.
And on short notice.
On short notice. She hasn't been looking as great. She's like on a 3-fight losing streak. This is the 4th fight, the last fight on her contract. So it sounds a little crazy that I'm picking against her.
First full camp she's had too, by the way.
First full camp.
In a while.
Mackenzie Dern. Best jits.
And, for any woman ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the game right now. Improved striking. Her last fight against Angela Hill whooped her ass. Any other person probably would have got finished.
Granted chin, by the way.
With the striking.
Because she got touched a few times and she just walked through that shit.
Literally, it's just because Angela Hill is just such a she's a tough woman.
Yeah.
Impossible to put out. But she took a mollywop in that joint. I think my only concern, because now I'm playing it out. And I'll ask you. My question is, because I am leaning Dern here, but how does Dern get in?
I will say, I don't know if she's going to have as easy of a time taking her down. Because Mackenzie Dern's wrestling is not all that great. The thing is, with the striking, I could see her getting to Jessica's back just with the striking and just putting a ton of volume on her and then just walking through some of Jessica's, shots.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Dern's chin is crazy. Now I got to give her credit.
It also sounds crazy because what you just said is she should walk through some of Jessica's shots.
I don't know if Jessica's going to be able to deal with her pressure. She's better with jiu-jitsu. I think Jessica's probably the better wrestler, but Jessica's not going to wrestle this girl. She don't want anything to do with her on the floor. And nobody should.
I think Jessica's path of victory is literally to keep this standing for as long as possible and try to beat her up right there.
Correct. Which she can do, by the way. If she turned back the clock in this fight, I wouldn't be surprised. The thing is, I don't know how she's going to be able to keep Mackenzie off of her because I feel like Mackenzie might just jump guard on her And if she jumps guard on her, she's going to be in her guard and she's going to be able to work back to her feet. But this is the first time Mackenzie's dealing with a girl that can pick her up over her head and slam her on her head.
Yeah, it's insane because I'm picking Dern, but I feel like I'm making an argument against Dern.
Yeah, no, you have to.
Because
that's how this is effective betting, bro.
The fact that it's a 3-round fight, I think favors Jéssica.
I agree.
It's unfortunate because I think this is a 5-round fight worthy fight.
Correct.
But it's a 3-round fight. I think that lean Jéssica. I think Jessica's got the better defense when it comes to wrestling. Dern doesn't have good wrestling.
No.
She has been training with Cejudo and them fight ready people.
She also trained with Nixick from what I heard for a little bit.
Look at that. I didn't know that.
What is it? Jéssica Andrade. Mackenzie Dern, you said trained with fight ready.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
my
yes,
apologies.
yes. Okay,
yeah, so Jessica, I think Jéssica Andrade is with Nixick. Nixick.
That's
Eric
pretty
Nixick.
impressive.
So
Damn.
we'll see. I don't know because even Nixick, because I heard Nixick talk about it on a podcast, I'll be honest, and he didn't even seem to, he seemed a little shaky on it.
Did he? Okay.
But what I will say is that I don't know if Jessica might be washed. And the other alarming thing is,
I think this fight will say whether she's washed.
100%. And the other,
not that again.
even if she lose, she just look impressive.
Yes.
I don't know where her head is at because the last couple of fights, I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. She was fighting for the money. She wasn't fighting to win.
Yeah.
She was fighting. If the win was there, she would take it. But she was fighting because she needed the fucking paycheck. Because unfortunately, I think she got robbed of all her money.
Yeah, and
in
apparently, I think they're both currently dealing with divorces.
Oh, baby.
So
yeah, who knows? I mean, like I said, but for me, Mackenzie's the lean. I just think Mackenzie's pressure, her volume, her chin, and she's a big strawweight.
I think she's got an underrated chin.
Yeah,
Mackenzie.
No question.
Now, listen, she's going against legendary power in Andrade.
Pound for pound, one of probably the biggest punchers, right?
Yeah.
And a girl, like, if she jumps guard on her, she might throw on her head like she did Rose. But I don't know if Jessica's mind is there for it. But this is the first full camp she's had. I just think even if she does throw on her head, she's gonna be able to deal with her. This Mackenzie Dern submitted Gabby Garcia. And by the way, we're talking about a girl who's 115 pounds playing jiu-jitsu. Not playing. I don't want to disrespect the jiu-jitsu community, but essentially having a jiu-jitsu match with a girl who's 230 pounds.
Yeah, big woman.
And jacked.
Yeah.
Jacked and can grapple. And she beat her.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jéssica Andrade's physicality is going to be an issue for Mackenzie. There's a lot of like
it's scary. It's scary.
I don't see it because I don't think like if Gabby wanted to throw Mackenzie on her head, she would have. I think Mackenzie's a lot stronger in those positions than people want to give her credit for. She's very strong. You can tell. Like she grabs girls and they're surprised at how strong she is. You know, so I think Mackenzie's the lean here. I don't like her at this line. I think she's like minus 220, but she's probably going to get parlayed low key. I like
a big
her.
line. I don't know if I want to parlay her.
I'm probably taking inside the distance.
I'm thinking about it because now, like again, it's good that we kind of talk this out and we're doing this live right now. I mean, when you guys see it, it's going to be recorded, but with me and my brother right now, live, one-on-one, eye to eye, man to man, mano y mano, just talking it out. I'm a little scared. I do think Dern wins, but I think this fight is probably way closer. The line should be closer. I don't want to count Andrade out, and it's the 4th fight in her contract. I think she's really going to show up for this one. It's going to be a good fight. I think, like I said, another fight of the night candidate. Ever so slightly leaning Dern.
Probably inside the distance.
Don't know how I'm going to bet it, though.
Who knows? It might go the distance. And that's what I'm saying. This fight is wild. But I do think Mackenzie has the skill, the tools, and the chin and the jiu-jitsu and the pressure to make Jéssica uncomfortable. Because look what happened the last fight, too. Even Aaron Blanchfield just put pressure on her and got her to the floor. But the thing is, Mackenzie doesn't have to get you to the floor. She can just pull guard on you. And that's where I think this dynamic gets blown up. Because if she gets you into a guard, she's probably going to get your back, or she's going to throw up a whole bunch of shit and get your arm or one of your head or whatever, and she's gonna tap you. I like Mackenzie here.
UFC 295, NYC, MSG, co-main event. we're here. Sergey Pavlovich. Tom Aspinall.
Great fight.
Russia versus the UK. Going down in the streets of New York. Sergey, 18-1. Fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 31 years old, going one-on-one with Tom Aspinall. Fighting out of England, hailing from England, 13-3 overall, 30 years old. What a good fight.
Great fight.
What a tight fight. This fight I've been literally going back and forth on. I think I got it. I think I'm gonna settle. My pick is gonna be Tom. Not with the most confidence. I think, in my opinion, this is they have it lined correctly. The line is very close.
Pretty much a pick 'em.
I think it's a pick 'em. It should be a pick 'em. It's a 50-50 fight. Even though Tom Aspinall does have more tools, I think he's got the grappling edge. I think he's got the footwork advantage. He might have the striking advantage. I'm a little worried about Tom Aspinall's chin. Doesn't have the greatest striking defense.
I agree.
I know people kind of blow him a little bit.
He exits with his feet good.
For his boxing, but
he exits well with his feet, but he leaves his chin up. He does, 100%.
And then going against Sergey, who got a laundry list of bodies that he's left in the first round. This man has fought probably a total of 5 minutes in the octagon in the past 6 years, just destroying dudes in the first round. Quick hands. I think underratedly accurate.
Yes.
Powerful. Hits hard.
Dynamic too, by the way. His strikes come from many different angles. And he knows how to set them up too. Like he'll feint the right and then whip it back for an uppercut. And he did it his last fight against Curtis Blades. It was nasty shit. It was fast too.
That Curtis Blades fight.
Fuck him, man.
What? Listen, I like Curtis Blades.
Love him
as a fighter.
But my goodness,
what a dog shit game plan.
Terrible fight IQ.
My man said, "I'm gonna strike with the striker when I clearly have the grappling edge," and it would have been nice to see it because nobody has really tested Sergey's grappling.
Alistair,
and
he stopped him. It was his UFC debut,
and that was his debut. We don't know how good he's gotten, if he's made any improvements.
Correct.
That Blades fight would have told us a lot.
Yep.
But Blades decided to strike with the striker, fell in love with the hands.
I fucked up.
And then was staring at the lights.
Yeah.
Man. I'm going to pick Aspinall here. He's got the talent. He is coming off of
murking Tabora.
Yes.
Murked him. And
listen, Tabura's whatever. I just think if it's a 50-50 fight, I think you have to go with the guy who has more tools, more ways to win. He's a little more dynamic. But again, at the end of the day, this is a heavyweight fight. And Pavlovich, he's got the power.
Correct.
I'm hesitant. Again, very hesitant. Because it could go either way. Not with the most confidence. I am leaning Aspinall. Don't know how I'm going to bet this fight. I don't know if I even bet this fight. It could be dog or pass, to be honest, because I think that's how close it is. But I'm leaning Aspinall here. What about you?
I'm leaning Aspinall as well, and I think he's better everywhere, to be frank, outside of the boxing. Aspinall's lighter in his feet. Aspinall is the better wrestler. Aspinall's the better grappler. And I think Aspinall knows how to stay with a game plan. I want to say that. I think he knows how to stay with a game plan better than Curtis Blades does. Like, Andre Arlovski was giving him some trouble on the feet too a little bit. And listen, I know Andre's washed, but Andre is a seasoned veteran that knows how to, knows how to pick his shots. He can do that to anybody. But Aspinall immediately knew, okay, I'm going to set up the punch, throw the 1-2, and shoot for the takedown. He got him down. I think he has more ways to win this fight. The only thing that sucks about this fight is that Aspinall hasn't had a full camp. I think
you could also argue Sergey hasn't had a full
no,
camp
but
either.
he was the backup for this fight though. He was the backup for the Jones Miocic fight, right? So he did have a full camp, just not targeted at Aspinall. But you know, switching game plans is not an easy thing to do when you're prepping for three different styles of opponents.
Essentially, yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna, it is impressive for Sergey, but he should be conditioned for this fight. I don't think this fight's gonna get to the third round. To be frank, it could, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't see it. So I don't think the conditioning is going to be much of an issue for Aspinall because I think he knows he's going to probably pack him up early or he's got to pack him up early. But I like Aspinall here. I think he does leave his chin up, but he does angle out with his feet very well. He's more explosive. Sergey's a lot more flat-footed. Sergey is the better boxer, but he's not the better grappler or wrestler. And I think that when Curtis Blaydes did decide to shoot on Sergey, it was because he kind of had no choice to, and he kind of just projected it, and Sergey read it like a book. I think Aspinall has better hands to set up his wrestling, and I think he meshes it better together than Curtis Blaydes. I like Aspinall here, and I think that's what I'm going to leave. I might have a different opinion tomorrow, but I think I'm going to bet Aspinall sooner than later. I do like Aspinall on the spot. I think he's your future. He's going to be a champion at some point. Him, Curtis Blaydes, even Sergey are going to be champions at some point. So, but I think Aspinall's the goods. And by the way, this is probably going to be for the heavyweight championship. They're saying it's the interim, but realistically, Jones and Stipe are going to fight each other, and they're going to retire.
It's going to be a double retirement.
That's what's going to happen, And especially with John tearing his pec off the bone, that's like a 8-month to a year recovery, and then he's going to fight one of these fucking animals. Yeah. Good luck with that. He ain't going to do that shit. The only guy he has interest in fighting is Francis, and right now I'm not sure he would even take that fight, considering he may not be able to beat him.
Yeah,
especially after this injury. So this is for the heavyweight championship, guys. And I think Tom has the goods. I think Tom has the goods to be champion for a long time in this division. So give me Tom Aspinall. How he does it, probably inside the distance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Main event. Delicious main event. NYC, MSG. I keep spitting those bars. Jiří Procházka, one-on-one with Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Will Jiří reclaim the belt that he never lost? Or will Pereira become a 2-division champion and in possibly the shortest amount of time ever in UFC history? We got Procházka here, 29-3-1, fighting out of the Czech Republic, 31 years old. Poatan, 8-2, but don't let the record fool you. Fighting out of Brazil, 36 years old. This fight, again, the last fight, another fight of the night.
Fireworks.
Listen, I don't want to say anything crazy. I don't want to jinx this fight. There's no way this fucking fight goes to decision, right? I said that about last week's fucking main event with Jelton Almeida and Derek Lewis, and that fight went to fucking decision. There's no way this fight goes to decision, right?
There's a possibility. I wouldn't bet on it. Depending on the line, I might bet on it. But there's a possibility. And there's a possibility because Alex Pereira, Jiří's durable, and Alex Pereira is also durable. And I could see it being like the Glover-Jiří fight, just a little less sloppy with the grappling exchanges.
Maybe less grappling, to be honest.
Oh, there's going to be way less grappling in this fight. But I could see Alex picking his shots and hurting him, but not stopping him. And then Jiří picking his shots, maybe hurting him and not stopping him. Don't get me wrong. I think if Poatan, my bet and my lean for this fight is Poatan. If Poatan hurts him once, he's going to stop him.
Yes.
And I'm going to bet on it. And the reason being is because Jiří is coming off one of the worst shoulder injuries ever. So does he even hit the same? That's one. Two, he's been wobbled in every fucking fight he's been in. So that's from Ozdemir to Dom Reyes to Glover Teixeira to it's just all signs are leading to Poatan.
Yeah.
And I think that Poatan is the most precise puncher that he's fought.
Yeah.
He just is. Glover is literally overhand, left hook. That's all he does. And he was able to touch Jiří. Ozdemir dumps. So I don't want to take anything away from him. Dom Reyes hit him with the straight left. That was the only weapon that he could hit him with. And the thing is, I've noticed in all of his fights, he kind of gets touched with the left hand a lot. What is Alex Pereira's main weapon? That left hook. And that left hook is like fucking Crow Crop's left leg. It is a fucking dirt nap. Don't get me wrong. If Jiří walked out of here with the belt, would I be surprised? No, I wouldn't, because I think his pace and pressure, a lot of things can happen with the pace and pressure and his awkwardness. I'm just going to go with the guy who I trust is going to be prepared for it. I'm going to go with the guy who's the more technical striker. I'm going to go with the guy who has Glover Teixeira in his fucking corner and is going to tell him how this guy's going to fight him and what he does in there, where he's strong at, the whole deets. And I'm going to go with the guy who doesn't have as many question marks. Because, listen, a lot of people were fading Poatan was a dog against Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah.
And because of the wrestling. So do people think Jiří's going to get him down?
Now,
he might.
I'm going to ask you, who's the better wrestler?
Jiří, 100%. But I think...
No, between Jiří and...
Jan?
Blachowicz.
I think Jan. I think Jiří's the more explosive wrestler, but Jan's the better technical wrestler.
I think they both have similarities in which they both can wrestle.
Correct.
But will they go to the wrestling?
Correct.
We don't know. I knew
Jan was gonna wrestle in his fight with Poatan.
Yeah.
I knew 100%. Will Jiří do it? I'm gonna lean no.
I'm gonna say no as well.
I'm gonna say no. I think he will if he gets hurt.
I think he can, and yeah, exactly. If he does get hurt, I can see him shooting.
Yeah,
100%.
But I expect Poatan to be ready for that because, listen, when and you've seen it in all his fights, when he touches boys with that left hand, which Jiří seems to be susceptible to that left hand, man, they're fucked up. They're either extremely hurt or they go out. And I just see Jiří with his defense, his defensive issues. He's gonna get hit in this fight, And plus, here's the other thing too. I noticed that I think Ozdemir and Glover did it. They went to his legs, and you could tell like that's how they kind of slowed his pace down a little bit. Poatan is a master of going to the legs, and by the way, he doesn't project his shots, so he doesn't really turn his shoulders when he's throwing the kicks. So it's hard to read when he throws the kicks. That's why Izzy had so many issues with him. But if Izzy had a hard time finding Pereira in certain spots, I could see Jiří having a hard fucking time fighting him, even though he is awkward.
I was just gonna say that. I think I agree with you there. But Jiří, the way he strikes,
he throws from his hips.
Yeah, which makes his
offense amazing, but his defense
dog shit.
Yeah, and I could see him like coming up. Like with the left hand, like to throw like a straight jab or like a right, and Poatan just coming right over the top and putting his lights out.
100%.
I mean, this guy is the third person that got inducted into the Glory Hall of Fame. So there's only two people in front of him who arguably are more prestigious than he is. But Poatan is arguably the greatest kickboxer of all time, in both middleweight and light heavyweight. So 85 and 205 in kickboxing too. This dude is as real as it gets. And crazy enough, these boys, and I got to give them both their stripes. I've never seen two guys, it's crazy how they get matched up, get pushed to the title fight so quickly. Jiří did it after 2 fucking fights. Poatan after, I think, 2 or 3 fights. And now Poatan is getting his 3rd title shot in his 6th fight in the UFC.
Insane. But I think that just speaks to the star power and his
skill,
the natural gifts and skills that these guys both possess.
Poatan hard to take down, by the way, too. Kickboxing background. Jan Blachowicz, he got him down the first round, but I don't see Jiří. He had to spam Poatan. I don't see Jiří spamming him with wrestling. I don't see it.
Like I said, I don't think. Well, I didn't say it yet, but I do think Pereira's got underrated
takedown defense. 100%.
You can take him down. Eventually, with the 3rd, maybe 4th effort, you can get him down. But I think his first line of defense when it comes to that defensive wrestling is pretty solid.
Correct.
And it also helps that he's just a humongous man with strong hips.
Correct.
You know?
Plus, here's the other thing, too. People were talking about his gas tank. I don't think his gas tank...
I do think, if you ask me, I do think Jiří does have the gas advantage.
Yes.
But the criticisms that we get from Pereira, you know, when he was gassing out when he was a middleweight, you have to keep in mind that my man was cutting extremely a large amount of weight.
I don't know how he made 85, to be frank.
And then his heavyweight debut,
his light heavyweight
debut
in elevation
in
Seattle,
and didn't look that terrible.
No,
didn't look that terrible.
John looked worse.
So I think maybe the gas tank thing may be a little overblown.
Maybe it's half true, half not.
Yes,
that's how I look at it.
Yes,
I think Jiří's got the better pace in this fight, 100%.
If you force Pereira to work, then sure. And also,
particularly in the wrestling exchanges, by the way.
Yes,
because he didn't gas against Izzy in both fights.
And also with Pereira, I mean, a little. If you ask me, I think I give him the power edge. I give Jiří maybe the pressure and volume edge.
Yes,
it does scare me a little bit that Pereira is a little more low volume than I would like him to be. That being said, I think he's the more calculated fighter in there. Not that Jiří's not calculated. I think Jiří is very calculated. And don't let the awkwardness fool you.
I agree.
But I do think Pereira is the more calculated fighter. I think, if you're asking me, bold prediction, I think this fight ends in 2.
Correct.
And I think it's going to be Pereira. And I think Pereira knocks him out. I think, again, he might be losing until he wins. I think Jiří is scary because I think the longer this fight goes, probably the longer it favors Jiří. Because Jiří, if you had to ask me, I do give him the cardio. If you do ask me, I do have to give him the pace. If you do ask me,
both their chins are fantastic.
I will give him the wrestling edge only because, not because he has outstanding wrestling, but he'll be more willing to go to the wrestling than Pereira. Pereira is not going to be shooting on nobody.
No.
Pereira wants to keep this fight as a pure kickboxing, striking affair.
Plus, here's the other thing too. A lot of Jiří's past opponents, Dom Reyes is the exception, but Dom Reyes doesn't have the IQ or the pressure that Pereira puts on. Dom Reyes is a left-hander bust.
Yeah.
Ozdemir and Glover Teixeira, very stationary. If you look at Pereira, very light on his front toes, knows how to be in and out, knows where to be, where not to be. I mean, dude, even
very good at distance management.
Yeah, what gets overlooked about Pereira is his technique. It just is. Style bender. And you could say, okay, the Strickland fight exposed him, but I think that was just burnout. If they fought again, when Izzy's a little more fresh, I think he beats him.
Yeah. That last fight with Izzy and Strickland, you kind of throw that one out the window. I mean, listen, the better man won that day.
That's it.
Give it to Strickland. Give Strickland his props. He came in with a game plan.
That's it.
Whooped Izzy's ass. But again, Izzy
had a hard time finding Pereira for both fights.
Yeah.
Had a hard time to the point where he had to rope-a-dope him to catch him, to give him that confidence, just to spark him.
Yeah, he had to whip out some new techniques out the bag.
The first kickboxing fight they had, or the second, if it was correct, I can't remember, he did piece him up.
Yeah.
But, once Poatan gets those reads on you and there's footage to watch, plus you have someone like Glover saying, yo, don't overlook this guy, I just think they're going to be prepared for a lot of the shit that Jiří's going to do. Plus that catastrophic shoulder injury that Jiří had. How's he going to look? I think he might look good.
I think he's going to be all right.
But the thing is,
it is something you do have to bring up.
There's more questions about Jiří than him, and Poatan's been more active, which I like too.
And I mean, just to put it out there, I mean, it's so obvious. It's obvious, but sometimes it's not obvious. Jiří's defense, his striking defense is not,
horrid, man.
Not good.
It's horrid. This guy's a bigger Tony Ferguson. Like that's just what he is. And no disrespect to Tony, because
I like Tony.
Both of these guys, listen, Tony Ferguson, in my opinion, champion. He's a champion. I argue he's one of the greatest lightweights of all time. I think if he's not one, he's top 2. Jiří Procházka fought a lot like him, and he was able to become a champion fighting like that. I just think that when there's levels here, man, and when you have a guy like Pereira, who he just needs to touch you. If he touches you, especially with that left hand, he has a good right hand too. His right hand's fucking good too.
Yeah.
Let's not get it fucked up. But if he catches you with that left hand and the way he sneaks it in between the punches, the way he flares it, it's short and quick. Yeah. If he can catch Izzy with that shit, and that's Izzy on 3 fucking fights at that point. That was the 3rd fight, and he still caught him with the fucking left hook.
And Also, I mean, I think you already brought it up, but if you didn't bring it up, I'm gonna bring it up again. The leg kicks.
Yes.
I think leg kicks gonna be very key in this fight for Pereira.
Yep.
Because Jiří's very heavy on his front legs, and the way Pereira throws kicks,
Don't telegraph him, man.
doesn't telegraph him, doesn't
Hard to catch him. It's hard to catch and shoot.
and
Like,
he throws them hard.
yeah. He hurts.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way. You hear when even when he was touching John, you heard the thumping when he went the left hook and he threw the right, then he went to the body and you heard the thumping off of the body.
Yeah.
Off of the head. I mean, Lord, he hits fucking hard, man. I like I said, I think Pereira's delivery system of these punches is overlooked. They think he's just a big brute. He is not just a big brute. This guy knows how to get from A to B with his punches, and from different angles, different speeds, and different power.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a double champion this weekend.
again,
I really do.
And not to overlook Jiří. Like I said, Jiří,
If he wins this fight, I won't be surprised.
he's a beast.
He's a beast.
Jiří is a beast. He can catch with his awkwardness. I'm not saying Pereira is the most chinniest guy, but like he could like Pereira has a tendency to get hit with some stuff that if he doesn't see it, doesn't absorb it well.
But that,
So
by the way,
it's kind of a little bit of a nightmare for him as well, because if he's getting hit with some stuff he don't see, and Jiří's an awkward striker, it could be, it could be night for Pereira too.
and to that point, I agree and I disagree. I think that's half. And here's why. He was killing himself to make 85, which is why I think Izzy had success hitting him and dropping him.
Yeah.
And taking him out. If you had to say who hits harder, Jan Blachowicz or Jiří Procházka, what would you say? It's close, right? I would say, maybe.
Close, yeah.
He wore John's punches pretty well. And that was after, he's a scary motherfucker because he had gotten knocked out by Izzy a few months prior. This devastatingly. Now it's been more time since that knockout. And when John touched him, he kind of just like looked at him like he respected it, but he just kind of walked him down.
Right.
I mean, this dude is a fucking problem.
Also,
like, he is a scary motherfucker.
Also, just to throw out some more intangibles out there. This is Pereira's second fight in New York.
Yep. He's the first guy to headline in the UFC twice. Because he headlined against Izzy when he stopped him the first time.
Yes, sir.
And now he's headlining again. And granted, it's because John Jones fell out, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
What history is writing this as is Pereira.
Undefeated in New York.
If he fucking gets this done, it might be the fastest come up ever. And I mean, Jesus.
His run is historic. So
Historic.
far. Like, it's crazy.
It's already historic.
Yeah.
But if he does this, holy shit. And this guy, you see all this, I'm making it sound like there's pressure on him. He don't feel any of this shit.
No.
He's been in some big, high-profile fucking glory kickboxing fights. This fight's not even bigger than the Izzy fight.
Yeah.
It's not. Because there's no history between him and Jiří. It's just two fucking animals, and they're letting them get in the ring and kill each other. And that's what this fight is.
It's curious to see how Jiří just reacts to being, like, not rushed back, because he's taking his time, but, like, now he's in the spotlight. Now he's the main event again. Now he's in New York.
They're not doing him any favors.
Yeah, it's
Hell no.
And then he's coming off the surgery.
If he fought Jan Blachowicz, you would feel better about it.
And then he's fighting, I guess the quote-unquote protege of Glover.
Yeah.
The guy who's going to be cornering Pereira.
The guy who hits harder than Glover, too, by the way. I think he hits harder than Glover.
From a narrative perspective, the storylines just kind of write themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Jiří can overcome this because he is wild enough to do it. He is dynamic. He throws spinning shit.
He throws ninja shit, man. My man was hitting people with the fucking, this is my crane style. Yeah. You hear my crouching tiger. Like I was.
This is Bruce Lee shit.
It was the Bruce Lee shit 100%.
I just think the facts, the evidence, how good Pereira is, I just think that this is going to be Pereira. That's my lean, and it's most likely going to be my bet. So, yeah, and by the way, I said I'm going to give bets away. I'm saying Pereira, I'm going to bet on. I'm going to commit. Pereira, I'm going to bet on. Aspinall, I'm going to bet on. Frevola is getting a bet. Diego Lopes is getting a bet. Those for sure I'm betting on. And those are the guys I'm going to bet on. Jared Gordon's going to get a live bet from me because I don't like his line. And we'll see how I feel about Jamall Emmers and how I'm going to bet Mackenzie Dern. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. But we're also I think I'm also going to take some unders in these fights too. I think that's definitely on the table. So, but at straights, because the lines are nice, I'm going to take those straights.
I'm not as ballsy as my brother,
Yeah.
but I do have some bets. I am going to bet Pereira. I'm still kind of on the fence about the Tom Aspinall fight.
I don't blame anyone for taking either one of those dogs.
Steamroller, I'm in.
I'm in.
And I think Lopes, I'm probably going to be in. Even though I'm a little cautious about that one, I do think Lopes probably should win that fight. And, you know, dog or pass, I think that fight is close.
Correct.
I like it.
Bet it soon, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, because he is plus 100, and I don't expect it to be that way too long. So,
Oh, and probably Borshchev.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So,
Borshchev, if they give us a comfortable line. If not, I'm going to just play a bet on Roosevelt at plus 500 and then let it rock.
and maybe even Kang.
Yeah.
Those are the things I'm kind of feeling right now. Everything else, I'm probably gonna have way more bets than that, but those are the ones I feel really good on. Maybe just straight up money lines, like
Correct.
no props. Don't really have any props for you. We don't have any props available at this time. Probably by the time we get off, there'll be props. But you know, again, follow us on social media. We throw them all up. We're gonna try to get better at posting a little earlier, but you know, not too early because we guys want you to tune in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show us some love.
And that wraps it up for the Axis of Combat episode 35 podcast, UFC 295 in MSG. You already know the deal. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the visuals on YouTube right now, drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, baby.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. And please subscribe, guys. We cannot, you know, we're telling you this because it's like free 99.
I mean, we're just giving up free information, man.
Free information. And, you know, as we talked about earlier in this podcast, the robbery that we did of the sports books.
Yes.
I mean, 8 units last week. Big fucking night. 4 units for my brother here. Actually, closer to 5. Let's just keep it 100.
No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. We're 4.5. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing night of bets. And
Yes.
we're going to continue it. We feel like this is another card to capitalize on. So please subscribe. It helps us. It's no charge. You're getting free content, free bets for no charge. Please help us out. And, you know, we can build this platform together easier and give you guys more resources as we rise, you know, and we will rise together because your pockets will get fatter. Holla at you guys. Love you. Subscribe, hit that button. Take it easy. Till next time.